Good evening, YouTube. AJ here. If you look directly over my left shoulder, right about there, is a grain elevator. It's still off in the distance quite a bit, but on my way home this evening from work, I decided to shoot a video on the side of the road again. And I thought, well, I'll make it kind of like Kansas, what everybody thinks of, nice and flat, and a grain elevator in the background. So there it is, folks. I didn't want to get up too close to it because actually we're still doing harvest, and so there's a lot of truck traffic over in that area. So I just stayed a couple miles away still. But anyways, the video I was wanting to do today was over small animals on the farmstead, small livestock on the farmstead. So what we raise is rabbits, ducks, and chickens. And I prefer them and like them a lot more, and my wife does as well. They're a lot easier to handle for her, and the baby can be around them a lot more. You ain't got to worry about her getting footballed by a cow, you know, winding up and kicking her or nothing. So it just makes it a lot better for everybody in general if we keep the smaller ones. Maintenance is a lot easier. Pretty much everything you can think of is a lot easier. So I'll start with the rabbits. They are extremely handy. Not only to keep, because you just basically build a little wire cage and you've got a rabbit house. And the only thing with the rabbits and just building that quick cage that's real simple and easy is your fingertips hurt horribly bad when you're done, and it feels like you just got needles shoved all up in every finger you have because of the little tiny wires, cutting them and bending them and everything like that. So they're nice, but yeah, there is kind of that little pain, but it's really not that big a deal. And so anyways, the one thing about rabbits that is really good is they breed like rabbits. So you get a ton of meat off of very few animals and in a very small area. And you can keep your feed bill down extremely low. And then if something were ever bad to happen, some kind of SHTF situation or whatnot, you could literally cut grass by hand like they did back in the old days, just stack it up, and you can keep those animals happy and healthy just off of natural hay, prairie grass that you got growing around you. So that's one thing that I really enjoy about them. Plus you can keep them warm at the same time. So you're feeding them and keeping them warm, and they're feeding you. And so you get the feed off of them, but then you can also harvest the fur off of there, of course, to make all your little booties, your, whatever in the heck you want to make out of a hide when you tan it. If I could speak tonight, that would be great. A hide when you tan it. There's so many different things you could use off of that. If anybody wants any videos on that type of thing, just let me know down in the comments. And not that I'm really good at tanning hides, but I do know some things and have some experiences in doing it. Most of them weren't really good, but some of them are. So, and we're getting better at it. And so we have the knowledge at least to get you to the right area if you're interested in tanning their hides. And then you got their manure, which is like steroids for a garden. I don't know how many people really want steroids for their garden, but if you can get your garden to grow that good, bam, it's on. That garden will do great with the rabbit manure in there. It's just a superfood for your garden, basically. So there's 3 uses straight out of the gate just for a rabbit: feed, hides, and manure to make your garden grow better. So 3 things out of 1 animal that you're gonna feed maybe $20 a month. It's pretty dang good. And one other thing I really like about rabbits is, above and beyond cattle, and same with all my smaller animals that I like, is that you don't have to worry about putting up a bunch of meat. If you need meat, you go get what you need, you harvest it, and you use it that day. Now, with a bigger animal, you got to worry about how you're going to store that and everything like that. These smaller ones is great. You get what you need. You need 2 rabbits, you go butcher 2 rabbits. You need 1 rabbit, you butcher 1 rabbit. And depending on how you're breeding and everything like that, you can most definitely keep enough meat on the table to suit everybody. So, one more great thing about the rabbits. And then, of course, the kids love cuddling with the rabbits. The grandbaby loves the rabbits, so it's wonderful there too. And then we'll move into chickens. So there's another one. They're a great tiller. till up the land for you if you want them to. Free range them in your garden after you're done with it. They will do most of the rototilling for you, plus, you know, putting more compost and manure on there. You know, they kind of are nature's rototiller, and they do an excellent job in fertilizing and all that fun stuff. So with chickens, on average, my wife, she has, you know, just every 6 chickens you have, on average, you can get 4 to 5 eggs per week, or I'm sorry, per day, per 6 chickens. So it ends up being quite a few eggs, and it ends up with that turning into dozens and dozens, to where you can get basically for $2 a dozen is what you're getting out of those. So every 6 chickens, every day you're getting 4 to 5 eggs. We have Rhode Island Reds for our chickens. Beautiful birds, good decent egg production, and you know, good meat as well. Well, and then like I said, you get, you know, the $2 a dozen and whatever. And the way we built our chicken coop was interesting, so I may do a video on that, because it's literally using all scrap stuff. Even the roost is all scrap stuff that we used, and ended up being really neat. My wife had me make it to where the eggs would roll backwards so that the chickens wouldn't tear them up, and that does help out tremendously so that chickens don't poke holes and stuff in them like that. But you get the eggs, you get the meat, you get the fertilizer, and that's about all you get out of chickens, other than insect control. But there again, it's another small animal, very minimal cost on feed, and they're just simple to take care of, easy to take care of. And then we move on to Muscovy or Muscovy ducks, however you want to pronounce it. It's a duck. It's a big turkey looking duck. I love those because they are an excellent supplement for beef. Anybody that's ever eaten a Muscovy duck, their meat is very beef-like. You can do fajitas, you know, duck and noodles, and was one of my wife's favorite things to do because it's like beef and noodles. I mean, they literally, you could grind that up and make hamburger out of it, and it's just an excellent source of protein there. It's one of the cleanest proteins you can get other than rabbits. And then you also can eat the eggs from ducks, from the Muscovies. They're extremely good, depending on how much you want to grow your flock, of course. You don't want to eat too many eggs if you're trying to grow a flock, because they're not egg producers. They're, you know, more of a meat producer. So they really do a good job as far as producing you some eggs. You know, my wife's got, I don't know, 20 some plus ducks, and they do a good job in producing eggs, and they do a good job great job actually of raising babies. They are one of the best parents for when you're trying to raise ducks. Muscovies are very protective. They're very resilient. They're just a great duck all around. They're great for all the different weathers. They don't really care if it's hot, don't really care if it's cold. So they make for a really, really good animal, and they do great on insect control as well. And they minimal maintenance once again on them. And of course, I'm saying minimal maintenance on everything because my wife honestly does the bulk of the work on all the maintenance on these animals, you know, cleaning up after them, taking care of their feed, their water. So it's minimal to me. But I think she would agree, because I have helped with the chores and everything like that, of course, and I do them sometimes while we got the grandbaby and everything. So it's pretty minimal work on all 3 of these animals, and you can really raise them for a very, very low price. Even the chickens and the ducks, not only can they eat the insects and everything like that, but they can also eat the prairie grass, and you can keep them pretty dang fat and happy off of just that type of stuff. Or, you know, for me here in Kansas, where we got milo and wheat and everything like that growing around us, that's also very beneficial. So that kind of wraps up, once again, that kind of wraps up everything as far as the small animals go. And I'll just cut out of here on that. So I want to say a couple things before I do that. My subscribers and my comments have went up way further than I ever dreamt they would. So I want to say thank you very much to everybody that is watching this channel or sharing or anything. just humoring this channel at all. Thank you guys very much for doing that. I have fun doing them. I like seeing it grow a little bit, and it's, like I said, it's actually grown a lot more than I ever thought it would. So please continue what you're doing. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the little bell notification. I never thought I'd actually say that on my video, but hit the little bell if you want to see when I do produce a video. And just let me know anything you guys want to hear in the comment sections. If you guys have any ideas of what you want to hear, I have videos that can, or I have thoughts that could help on the videos to maybe make your day a little easier in the SHTF situation. So y'all be safe. Have a good night. Once again, thanks for watching.